Hi everyone, Marisa Stone here with Simon Says Social and the Systems Lounge, and I want to welcome you today to the 2018 Premier International Women's Business Systems Virtual Summit, where you get to learn all about the systems that our speakers are using to get things done. And today I am super excited to have Margie Overman on. She is going to be talking with us about what she calls the batch process principle model. Now, before you take off running, because oh my gosh, that's a mouthful, this is something you guys are definitely going to want to hear if you are looking to up-level and upscale your business. Now, before we get into this with Margie, let me tell you a little bit about her. So Margie's area of expertise is in business systems and processes improvements services. She has over 10 years of experience in both operations management and store procedures management in offline and online capacities. And she actually has web store management experience for several online stores. She's also helped clients 10x their income by improving their product creation processes. And today she is going to talk with us about how this works. Margie, I'm so excited to have you here. Welcome to the summit.
Thank you very much, Marisa, for this wonderful opportunity. And first of all, the name, why I came up with this name, the batch process principle model, it's because it's based on process improvement and actually system improvement. So in order to have all that in one specific model, in order to use it like an automation system, I have created this model and I'm writing a book about it. So,
nice. Very nice. Okay, so let's dive into that. Exactly what is it? Like, what do I do with this batch process principle model?
The principle model is based on 5 basic pillars that are consistent in each business process and each business operation. So whether you have a doctor's office or you have a particular, for example, you are a health coach and you have your private practice, those are actually the settings that you can use this batch principle, the batch process principle model. You can use it by implementing the several parts of the system into your specific private office. So it's going to be great because it actually is built upon the pillars that I will be mentioning during the presentation that I have prepared, so you can have a better idea how it works.
Nice, nice. So why is this something entrepreneurs should be concerned with? Like, let's say I, work out of my home office and I sell digital products and I'm an entrepreneur and it's me, I'm a one-person team. Why is this something I need to be concerned about?
Actually, I would say entrepreneurs and especially professionals in private office, they would be excited. Why? Because it helps them to have the most particular benefits that you would like to see in your private practice. For example, if you are a solopreneur, you can use only the 4 basic pillars that I will be mentioning in the next presentation. So you can actually implement it, because the last one is human resource management system. So if you don't have people working for you, you don't need a pillar afterwards.
Right.
So yeah, that's why it's very important to actually to focus on the 4 pillars that I will be mentioning. And after that, when you're ready, you are ready to implement the 5th pillar, the basic principle model. This principle model will be the tool actually to help you implement the batch process principle model in effective for the 5 pillars in your private practice.
Gotcha. And most entrepreneurs, I would say, eventually do get to the point where they bring on team members and they bring on additional people to help. So I could totally see how they could grow into needing that last pillar for sure. So one of the things that you work with clients on is what you call simplifying complicated details inside their business. Can you tell us exactly what this means?
With the word simplifying, I mean by organizing their specific processes and structure their processes that makes being in business less stressful, and they are more confident in going out, presenting themselves, because now their business is running on itself in an automation system, so they don't have to worry, they need to actually adjust anything,
Mhm.
because the batch process principle is actually based on a 90 days model. So after the 90 days, you will be able to revise the assistant system and see whether you need to actually implement some other tools into your existing automation model.
Nice, nice. And I like that you said I would not have to worry about my business because
Right.
it's going to be running itself. And I really like that idea. So you
Mhm.
also say that this process that you've created was designed especially for entrepreneurs and professionals who have service-based businesses. So why does this process work better for those who have service-based businesses? Because that's what I do. I provide a service in helping female entrepreneurs understand about technology. So why is it that this process would apply to me more so than perhaps another entrepreneur?
Actually, I've developed this batch process principle with a service-based business in mind. Why? Because when you are actually starting out, you don't have actually you have the basic foundation, but you would like to actually have something to start with. That's why this batch principle model helps you to grow your business when you're ready.
Nice. So in essence, what I'm hearing you say is this is something you could implement and then scale with.
Yes.
Okay. I like
That's very important with this batch process principle model, because it's based on the business operations from a private practice, and it works the best on several processes that are actually found in major private practices.
right.
So they are actually the key points actually to start with. And after that, when you have everything in place, when you're ready to expand your business, you are able to do that without compromising any existing system that you already have in place.
Nice, nice. I like that. I definitely like that because one of the areas that my clients really run into problems is systems not integrating nicely or playing fair, as I call it. And so it's really nice that this kind of takes that into consideration. So another thing that you tell clients is that this service model actually makes it fun. Like they're going to be in love with their business again. And so for those of us who maybe are buried in all the things that are associated with our business to the point that we're like, you're saying this process can actually make me fall in love with my business again. How does this work?
Yes, this system can help you automate actually your complete life. That's the,
Nice.
that's the most important part, you know.
Right.
I have some examples here that I would like to mention so you can have a better idea what I mean.
Okay.
For example, you would like a more fluent working customer relations system.
Yep.
You can actually build it that way that the automation will help you, that you don't need to be there for them right away, but the automation system itself takes care of the customer.
Exactly. So they are all treated like VIPs. One of the common threads and common themes about this entire summit. So yes.
Yeah. So you are able to actually select your ideal clients through the same principle,
Right.
and you are able to automate your existing customer relations system in a certain way that you don't need to be 24 hours available. You are
Nice.
able to have fun with your family and eventually take care of your customers where they have some pinpoints that you need actually more in-depth consultation with them. You can actually schedule it afterwards.
Nice. I like that a lot. So one of the other things that you talk about is how this system is actually going to reduce the normal stressors that we all deal with when we work as entrepreneurs. Can we just talk about that for just a moment? The stressors that are associated with running a business. How does this system help to reduce those?
Sure. The first thing that we would like to mention is I work through a questionnaire to see whether there are any flaws in the existing system that they are having. So maybe the flaws are the ones that they are actually not implementing certain new tools into their business the right way. So when you have some flaws, when you have new system coming in, you don't have the actually the structure in order for it to actually synchronize with each other. So that is this model, the one that actually helps you identify those flaws through the questionnaire. It's like an audit, and through the system audit, you will find those flaws. And through a 2-week program, you can actually use this program in order for you yourself actually implement the basic principle model. And after the 2 weeks, we get together and in an interview actually with you, I will actually have a better conversation with you, see where the flaws are solved through the 2 weeks program, or you need additional implementation from the batch process principle model into your existing system. So you don't need to actually start worrying about how can I make those actually the investment into this system back into my business? Because right after the 2 weeks program, you are able to implement what you have actually applied into your existing system. And in an interview, I can get with you to the same system that you have actually um, identified the flaws and resolved the flaws. And even if there is something that you have been worrying about, maybe the flaws aren't completely eliminated, I can go through in an interview and together we get actually through an implementation process in order for it to work perfectly in your system.
Nice, nice. And I like that it's easy to like just plug in and use, because there are so many things that there's like this big learning curve, or there's this big, trying to process of trying to figure it out. And what I'm hearing you say is this is a seamless integration.
Yes.
Yeah, which is really nice. Okay.
Yes.
So how can I ensure that a system like this is actually for me and my business? What are some of the questions I need to be asking myself if I want to apply this?
First off, you need to actually identify if your system is working seamlessly without any difficulty. The first sign of difficulty is when you're receiving complaints from your customers, when you are having difficulty implementing a new, actually when you have a new tool and you need to actually synchronize it with existing systems, if you see that it doesn't work quite well and that it's actually causing more errors into your system, it's time to actually do an audit to see whether your existing system is not actually synchronizing with the new one. It can be, for example, a new process from payment system that you will be incorporating into your new business. Maybe the process isn't working the way it should, and it's causing delay. For example, the customer wants to buy something that happens a lot.
Right.
The customer is ready to buy. It goes, for example, through a funnel, and you see at maybe when they are on the lead page or on any other um, landing page, actually, you see that the link is not working, or something comes up. Something happens and the delays, most importantly, cause the client to actually discourage and go away. And you don't find them easily because if you don't have their IPs or maybe their email, you can't actually follow up with them and see what is happening.
Right.
So you need to test your existing system to see if there is any delay, and that is one of the pinpoints that you can use to start with an audit to see whether that is the problem or maybe your internet connection is the problem. You can actually do it through the same questionnaire that I have and have it ready for when you're actually in a 15-minute consultation with me. You can actually tell me what came up with the questionnaire, and we can go after that through the 2-week program for you to actually implement through the batch process principle model the changes that is needed for it to actually eliminate those flaws.
Gotcha.
After the 2 weeks program, that you still see that it's not working quite well, it's time for a more actually in-depth implementation process.
That makes a lot of sense. Totally makes a lot of sense. Wow. This has been some amazing information. I am blown away by what you are bringing. I know we're going to be taking a much, much deeper dive into this batch process principle model in the next interview, but is there anything else that we need to know right now?
At this moment, I'm going to actually go through the presentation in a few minutes so you can have a better idea how it actually is going through several stages. It's in total 10 stages, but I will actually talk about 2 at this moment. And the rest, when we are in a consultation, you can actually ask me anything about it, and I will actually elaborate more about the several stages and how it works.
Yeah.
That's actually in the implementation stage.
Right. And I think that's a big piece of all of this, right? It's when you start implementing things like this that the real questions come out, right? Because
Right.
you're still trying to figure it out and you're trying to put all the pieces together. So I think that's an important point, that's a big place where there's going to be questions. So before we get off this interview, before I let you go, how can people reach out to you? Let's say they want to pick your brain a little more about this idea of this batch process principle model, or access some of your resources, or perhaps even work with you. How can they reach out to you?
You can actually reach out to me through the links in the comments below or on this particular page. And if there is any concern about the existing system, they can feel free to actually book an introduction call with me so we can actually help them through the questionnaire. And after the 15 minutes, which is only 15 minutes, so we can actually get together and do it.
Nice.
Do
Very
the
nice.
whole process, how it's going to work, and start with the 2 weeks program.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Margie. This has been
Welcome.
absolutely fabulous. Guys, if you're really struggling with the processes inside your business and you really want to get a handle on creating a much more efficient process for your business so that you can relax and stop stressing about how your business is running, you're definitely going to want to stick around for the next advanced session that Margie is getting ready to share with us. But in order to access that, you're going to have to upgrade to your All Access Pass. Now, there's a button below this video that will take you directly over there so you can grab that now. And you're going to want to do that because not only are you getting all of the live sessions that you're watching right now, but you're also getting lifetime access to every single one of these much deeper dives that I'm taking with every single one of our speakers. And you are not going to want to miss that one. Margie, thank you so much for being here today and sharing all that you have shared. This has been fabulous.
Thanks a lot for this invitation. I really appreciate it, and I would be happy to help you and your audience.
Wonderful, wonderful. And guys, we will see you inside that All Access Pass. Bye, everyone.